Welcome back to the channel. Well, it's here, added to the home arcade, the Space Invaders Gold iiRCADE. Now, I didn't know anything about iiRCADE other than purchasing the original stand for $50 on a liquidation they had online for my countercade, just to bring that up. So building this, putting it together, I noticed a lot of different things. Now, this isn't a review on the assembly process. I do have a couple of pictures to go over that, but there's plenty of other reviews out there. This is my take on the Space Invaders Gold iiRCADE. Here's a look of one side. I mean, this art just sold it for me. They did a great job on this. It's just a tad bit bluer in person, but man, I mean, these are the reasons why Space Invaders was right at the top of my decision here on getting this cabinet. And a look at the other side of the cabinet. So unlike, and I don't want to keep comparing Arcade 1-Up, but unlike Arcade 1-Up, the side art is different on both sides. So, and unfortunately, you won't see this when it's pressed up against other cabinets. But just to showcase this art, it's a very great looking cab. And you see right there, it's like the only screw you're going to see on the side. And just for a visual here, here's how that monitor will look when it's assembled. You can look where the HDMI, where the power is on the bottom. And I just looked at those holes and remember that will be facing up, or that green card. So only part of the build I'm going to show here. I just wanted to get straight into the cab because, again, there are other reviews here on assembling this. This can be the only tricky part you could run into. So the shot of the Marquee, which is just a little bit brighter for me standing in front of it than what you are viewing on this picture. But it's just so clear. It's so crisp. I mean, there's just, there's no graininess. It's just like high gloss, awesome looking Marquee. Moving down to those JBL speakers. I mean, this whole grill right here, just completely different than what I'm used to. And the volume on here is it's a lot louder. I mean, this pumps out a lot of volume. The 19-inch screen. Now, it's not a BOE, but it's a great screen. Coming down to the control panel here, I mean, just listen to the sticks. They are so tight. And the buttons. I can see why people mod on an Arcade 1-Up because they want buttons like this, which I'm not used to experiencing these. I mean, just everything on here is like, this is what Killer Instinct was supposed to be. And I'm not knocking Arcade 1-Up, but I mean, you look at this cabinet, all right? This is about as high as my Golden Tee 3D XL. And with all the premium features on here, the speakers, the joysticks, the buttons, and I know there's no molded coin door on here that lights up or has any function, but this is what you expect when you sit there and say pro. This is a pro cabinet. This right here, 19-inch monitor, excellent control panel, and this USB right here. I mean, when I was installing this, I mean, you know what I was thinking about? This is for Operation Wolf. This is for all those light gun games. It's just a matter of time before we have all these different types of shooting games. It's like, do I get a light gun now? Should I just get it? Because when they announce these games, when we can buy them, I mean, how is it going to be a back order on the guns? Might be the time right now to pick up the gun. Moving down to the art here on the front. Just a great looking cab. And, it's just preference on any gold edition you're interested in. They're all going to look good. It's just what do you like? What theme are you going for? Going back to the main menu here is we have our options on the top here, and we can go through the games on recent, on all, and it'll break it down. Now I just have the games that were loaded at purchase of this, and I had a blonde moment, and I said, I thought that Space Invaders was part of this, and I emailed customer support, and immediately I got an answer, and it was yesterday, that it was in my owner's manual. So, and I remember hearing that on other reviews that Space Invaders will be included, like there's going to be a code to put in, but sure and behold, here's Space Invaders. And just going through alphabetical and what's going to be on this cabinet when you buy Beach Bug Racing, Bomb Squad, Diver Boy, Double Dragon, Dragon Master, Dragon's Lair, Fancy World, Gunbird, Maniac Square, Snowboard Championship, Space Invaders if you buy the gold, and Twin Brats. So there's plenty of games on here. Don't feel the need where you have to download immediately, which trust me, I'm gonna buy up a ton of games, but I'm gonna wait till the new billing cycle because we're just leaving Christmas here. I just purchased this, so I'm gonna put off a couple of charges. These games will keep me busy. I'm really looking forward to the Double Dragon. Just looking at this brings you back to like things are about to get real right now. This is just the best intro. The music's great. I mean, what an awesome game. Once I beat Double Dragon, I'll get Double Dragon 2, I'll get Double Dragon 3. Say what you want about Double Dragon 3. It's just these nostalgia beat-em-up games. Awesome.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the actions of a daring adventurer.
And you know what? This is a great track mode, and it will actually play through the entire game. So just like having this on in the background, it's just an awesome feature to have. So even if you can't beat Dragon Slayer, like this whole game will play through in the track mode. You just see like play by play. And just to get back to the main menu, you're just holding down the menu button for like 2 seconds. Goes right back, and you're back to your library here. So the best thing is once you have an account set up on their store on iiRCADE, you can purchase the games and it will download right to this machine as soon as you power it on. And you can also, like the cloud, right? You can keep some of your library on your account if you run out of space. Now, I don't know how much space we technically have here, but I know that Papa Brad has purchased every game on here. So, I mean, it's just congratulations, Papa Brad, on getting all these games. I mean, there's over 300 games. So I have my work to cut out for me, and, got a lot of catching up to do on the leaderboards, on gameplay, but from everything I've seen so far, this is an awesome cabinet. And just to go through the rest of the top here, again, you're breaking them down into category depending on what games you have. And then you have your settings for, accessibility and advanced options. So like I said, this was a different type of review. If you're interested in full reviews on the assembly process of this cabinet, 19K Fox has a live stream review on his Double Dragon cabinet. Hence why I'm wearing his shirt. I did go back and rewatch his review before I assembled this because there was an issue with the monitor going in upside down. And that's why I had a quick shot of mine, just for reference, because it does get tricky when you're going through that manual. We're all in a hurry to put these together, and it's a little bit different than the iiRCADE 1-Up assembly. It does build, you take one side and you're putting everything in the speaker, the marquee, the monitor, and then you're pressing it all down. But it does, with the arcade one up, it does have arcade one up somewhere on here. That that's the bottom when you're putting it together. So it does get tricky. Also, Glenn's retro show has a 2 video of his Dragon Slayer where he does the bar top 1 episode and then the base, and then he puts it all together. All right, so I had this Doc Brown like revelation from Back to the Future when I'm putting this together, and this changed up as I'm thinking about the review for this. Like, I didn't want to do like a build because a lot of others have went over this already, and my reviews always seem to just go on and on and on and on. I'm trying to keep it short, and it all comes to me when I'm halfway through on the bar top. Just the premium speakers, the controls, just how everything went together. Looking at the back side of the monitor, plugging in everything hit me. This whole thing about arcade one up versus iiRCADE, and throw Games and throw MVSX in the mix, but this is a totally different cabinet, and this is something I'm going to get into on my next episode of Walk and Talk. So if you're following my videos, my next episode is going to break down something. It all came together for me. I want to thank everybody in the iiRCADE community, and I don't want to name any names. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I came out with a video where I said, let's get another sale on an iiRCADE Gold. Let's drop it to $5.99. So many more people will jump in and get it. After putting this together, after just everything about this is a $7.99 cabinet. A $7.98, excuse me, $7.98 cabinet, and this is what a pro should be. This is a pro cabinet, and from that video, I had people come out, and then when I made another video where I said, what, I bought the Space Invaders iiRCADE Gold. Everyone that came out in the community, thank you, and from the Arcade One Up community, the comments. I'm having a great time doing these videos. The community is great. I purchased this iiRCADE hat, so there's been 3 purchases for me from the iiRCADE store: the original stand, which I do put my countercades on, the iiRCADE Gold, and this hat. And I know there's people out there that are saying, what, this is taking a long time to get it shipped. It just depends. It depends if it's the holidays. It depends if it's negative 45 degrees outside. I mean, we went through a couple of strange weeks weather-wise, and it might take 2 weeks to get something once your payment clears. I mean, it does take a couple of days or processes. So with my purchases, rest assured that everything in a timely fashion will come. Now, this hat is going to be worn on my walk and talks because I want people to know what I'm doing when I'm out there. Why is this guy filming himself and talking to his camera? I want people to know that this is an arcade show. It's a retro show. It's for home arcade enthusiasts. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm having a great time. I'll see you guys next time. So here's an updated look with Space Invaders. Now it's sitting where Mortal Kombat 2 sat, and I didn't lose any floor space. It fit perfectly. I thought this would be a little bit wider. Only had to shift over Ridge Racer and Terminator 2 just to get it in place, but it's a great look. This side of the room is looking pretty sharp.